We got a fossilized tail. Fantastic. Hey everybody, I'm Nick here and welcome back to Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley. Yes. So, we've got some interesting stuff to do. And by interesting, I mean we're going to be doing a lot of fishing and a lot of digging. And yeah, I don't know. We're trying to deal with the island, but at the same time, we're also trying to get some stuff done. Right, we have to wait for an objective. I've got some stuff. Ooh, lagged out there for a little bit. Right. That's right. I bought this because I figured we could plant it, even if it's kind of dumb to plant it. Don't know where the wifey is. She's probably outside. What do you know? We actually got some finished wine that took for fucking ever. So I guess ideally, so we're gonna make a bunch of money. I really don't have like any ancient fruit wine because, yeah, I know why. Because I haven't been making any. That's the answer to the question. Really what I need to do is I need to knock everything out of there and then just put in a fresh batch all at once so they're all ready on the same day. Like, I'm fairly certain that is the correct way to do this. Okay, I won't look. Believe me, I understand how that works. So for those of you who are watching this, who do not know, who did not see yesterday, but instead of our Isaac video for the day, which of course, you know, pained me deeply to not post because I've got a billion of those to post. But I have started a new YouTube channel. Not that it's going to replace anything here. Just that it's a place for something different is how I would describe it. Basically, you know, this channel, I release stuff pretty much daily, and I do mean pretty much daily. It's on that level, and it's been that way for a while, for better or worse when it comes to my sanity, I'll be honest. But overall, it's one of those things that I enjoy doing, so I don't mind. However, some of the content that I want to make is more complicated. So, more complicated content just kind of behaves a little bit differently. In that, like, the content is designed to be consumed differently, right? If you're releasing stuff daily, you're expecting that people are going to kind of dip in, dip out, watch what they want. Like, that's how I imagine it. So, like, if you as a person very much enjoy watching you know, Stardew Valley, this is something I'm using, or like, I shouldn't make too many because I don't know the optimal placement here. But yeah, so like there's this whole like bit, right, about whether or not it's a good idea to release. Sorry, I'm completely losing my train of thought trying to get all this stuff done. So if I have content that I want to make, or other content that I want to make is how I should say it, right? There's a different use case. So how people choose to interact with me and my channels is up to them. It is entirely up to them. But as a content creator, it is to my advantage, very much to my advantage, to do it in a way that is convenient and incentivizes people to interact with my channel. Now, to be fair, I'm not planning on making, you know, a whole bunch of money off of my channel or anything like that. It's fun to watch numbers go up. I've said this. So I hope I've said this. I hope I made it clear. Like, watching numbers go up is fun. Like, you know, if you reach 1 million subscribers, yeah, you can make a living out of this. But only a few people ever actually manage to reach that kind of level. And I'm not planning on quitting my job anytime soon. I like it a lot, and I don't want to have to deal with that. You know, figuring out when I can stop, or like it would that level of, I don't want to say insecurity, but like job security is one of those things that, you know, is valuable to me personally. Just personally, I like feeling secure that I don't have to worry about where my next paycheck's coming from, right? And so when you tie yourself to YouTube or Twitch, you end in a very weird situation where you're beholden to make more content that is incredibly good, to the point where you can make a living off of it. And to be fair, there are certainly people who are capable of that. There are 100% people who are capable of doing that. And they do. I mean, obviously. But I don't think I'm that good at making content to begin with. To be fair, I enjoy myself thoroughly. I'm not doing anything like involuntarily or anything like that. Actually, I should do it like this. Looks like today's going to be a little bit more chore heavy, but that's just because I'm running around. But yeah, it's kind of along those lines of, you know, I enjoy what I do, which is just making videos here and there. I enjoy not feeling like I'm pressured to do so. It's going to sound, I don't know if this is going to sound cynical or not. It's not intended to be purely cynical. I guess that's how I would say it. But, you know, anything that is your job, and I do mean anything that is your job, is a job. It's going to be a job, and even if you enjoy it, it turns into a job. It's something that you have to do to survive, you know, to make ends meet. Like, you know, unless you are so super duper rich that everything that you do is optional because you could live off what you have for the rest of your life, you're always going to have to work. Pretty much guaranteed. There are ways to make it less likely. There are ways to reduce how much that you have to work. FIRE, so Financial Independent, Retire Early, is a very interesting community. I don't practice all of the things that they preach, but that's because I have other debts to manage, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not like trying to work towards that, especially because, not to like get super political or anything, but as somebody who lives in the United States, Social Security, something that many people have taken for granted in the past, is something that I perhaps wisely, perhaps unwisely, who knows, I'm not relying on. So doing that sort of stuff is certainly interesting. Like, to say the least, it is certainly interesting. Nice. Right, we can just teleport around, which is good. Let's go to the jungle and see what gets told us. I know we need to go mine the muscle rocks, but he tells us something different every day, and I don't know if it's limited, or if there's like actually a number that you can get from each location, and he's giving us a tally. Yep, 3 stuck in Shelly Stones by the shore. So yeah, it's one of those things where if I were to suddenly get millions of subscribers, right, it'd be interesting. I'm sure I would see a wonderfully large, well, depending on how it happened, I don't know how the monetization would work. But even you know, if I make a good chunk of money from ad revenue or whatever, or you know, maybe I start getting a sponsor. However, right? You know, some money gets made. That's even if I'm making a crap ton of money, I'm probably still not going to quit my job. Because windfall money is good money. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have, and it can reduce stress on you know your budget, things like that. Like that's all good. That's all fine and dandy. We didn't get anything, but you know, unless it's something that you can do consistently, which anything on YouTube is basically by definition inconsistent, due to the fact that you're beholden to YouTube, which is both an algorithm problem as well as just the fickleness of people. Like all that stuff that goes on there, while certainly interesting and has motivations and has potential, like obviously there are people who do it. There are 100% people who do it. But it doesn't ever feel like a secure job. It doesn't ever feel like something that you're like, yeah, I can do that forever. Because who knows? I mean, obviously, if you're a content creator and you pick up a following, you can do stuff like that. If you get sponsors, you can do stuff like that. If you make that large influx of money so that you never have to work again, but you choose to keep doing YouTube content because it's what you enjoy, then maybe it doesn't feel like a job. And maybe it works out for you. But if you don't hit that point, like leaving what is, you know, colloquially considered a full-time job, and I say colloquially considered because making YouTube videos is a full-time job. Like 100% believe it. Like there's no doubt in my mind that people who do that aren't, like I don't think that they're cheating or anything, right? Like I really don't. But because I've done some editing, right? And yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, it's like one of those things where I'm not gonna question their work ethic or anything. But you know, if you don't have to work because you're making YouTube videos, but you're not making enough from a single YouTube video that you can just quit your job, then you're going to be at the whims of the algorithm, of virality, of all that stuff. Like it's something that you are subject to just inherently. So you have to, I mean, ups and downs, right? Ups and downs. But it's rough. And the question that I would have to ask is, you know, why would I, somebody who has a solid 9-to-5 job that makes decent money, I wouldn't say that I make enough money that I'm like, fuck you, rich or anything. I definitely don't believe that. We got a fossilized tail. Fantastic. You know, that sort of thing isn't something that I'm willing to just be like, throw to the wind and be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh my god, it's gonna take so long to finish these. I better get like 5 each. So yeah, it's one of those things where not something that I'm particularly expecting to ever do. Quit my job for YouTube. But part of, oh darn it, that's not a note. Part of what I do to make videos, which is just sitting around playing video games, minimal editing. I'm not doing a ton here. But part of that is fun and enjoyable. But it is different. It's different than having it as a job. And also, oh wait, I need a pan for, oh wow, it really disappears fast. Holy crap. I thought it was gonna stay there. Alright, well now I know to keep my eyes out. But anyway. Darn. not what I was hoping for. I'm hoping for more skeleton pieces. But yeah, so the use case of your audience is important. So the people who make a lot of videos, or the people who make their livings off YouTube, tend to fall into two categories. Kind of like the everyday content type thing, relatively minimal editing, but also like there's definitely still editing involved. Some of them might do it themselves, a lot of them hire editors, but it lets them put out like a lot of gameplay in a small amount of time. And as I kind of talked about a little bit in the announcement video for my other channel, this video is part of my philosophy is that I don't do a lot of editing. And that's partially because I want you guys to see the game that I'm playing and understand that the game that I'm playing, like, this is how it works. Interesting. So, like, you'll know that, like, a lot of Stardew Valley is doing chores. You can cut that out of the final game, or of the final footage, relatively easy. You do it all at once, and you do it at the start of the day. So you basically could just cut out the first 3 hours of every day, and that would be relatively quick to do, relatively easy. Dang. I'm gonna have to put this back on my main menu so I can just go quickly. Anyway, as I was saying, so like you can nice. We're at 10. I don't know how many more I can get out of this river. My guess is not many. But yeah, so that, like they get a lot of views. Part of their popularity is personality. Part of it is what games they choose to play potentially. Both of those things draw an audience. And on top of that, they got a little lucky. Whatever virality, like virality is definitely not something that you can teach. It's not something that you can just do. It's something that you can put effort towards, but you're not guaranteed it by any means. I would actually make the bet that you could take the person who got famous off of one video, and I say that not in like an attempt to be derogatory, but they got famous off of one video, and that drove their career forward, because virality is a snowball effect. You get a little bit popular, you get a lot more popular, that kind of thing. Like that's a thing. That's how it works a lot of the time. If you were to take their video that got them big and release it like, I don't know, maybe a day later, a week later, a month later, an hour later, I don't know what the limitation is, right? But if you do that, you release it later, you know, something about the way the algorithm... I can't get there. That's disappointing, actually. There has to be a way to get there. I probably need to go. Wow, whoops. I heard the bloop and thought it was a pull. So yeah, like that's one style of YouTuber that's big. And then I would argue that vloggers also kind of fall under that. People do a lot of vlogs, or like, I don't even want to say clickbait content because I don't think that's accurate. I feel like that's trying to basically take credit away from them. But like that sort of content, that daily, more consistent content. Sorry, for a second I thought that firefly was a place to pan. But like that sort of daily content is one type, and the other type is the other one. The ones that release every month, every 2 weeks. Like maybe they're consistent, maybe they're not. I don't think that's the important part. But that's how they function. That is their MO. Usually it involves things that are more complicated on their side, that don't necessarily add to the video length. So my example here would be like Stuff Made Here. If you're not familiar, fantastic channel. Love it, love it, love it. If I could have that man's workshop, I could die happy. But yeah, he just makes a bunch of stuff. He just makes a bunch of stuff. That's all he does. And to say that's all he does is definitely a disservice. So, but that's what he does. He basically comes up with an idea, something that generally has some scientific basis, like a curiosity, something that's interesting. Like that's like that is part of what he has to do. It's part of what he has to do. Do I need ginger for anything? I don't think so. But that's part of what he has to accomplish. Is finding a way to, or finding something that is going to engage people. Because that engagement is important. I would definitely not ever say that the engagement isn't important. But that's something that they have to do. Is whatever it takes them a while to put together has to be worth taking a while and waiting for. Right? I hope that makes sense. I think the way I'm saying it makes sense. Sorry, focusing with the hours that I have left. Keeping truffle oil for making stuff. Once I leave, I'm probably not coming back in here, is why I'm doing it like this. Actually, come to think of it, I should put that in there. Alright. So yeah, the larger interval YouTuber tends to have a lot higher views. It's like that same like supply. It's a supply and demand balance, basically. So like if you release daily, you don't get as many views, like for that day. Not for any particular reason, just you know, that's how it works. Like you can watch 100 videos for the last 3 months that they put out of stuff. How much did we make from the wine? I gotta know. 1,100 from the oh, that's the pomegranate wine. That's not even the good stuff. So yeah, like that is the flip side of them only releasing every now and again. They release less often, but they make more money because they get more views, because obviously people can't watch those all the time because they can't release them that fast. Oh, thank you. Okay. Sure thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and take 100 of this. So those models of YouTube are different. They are clearly and entirely different, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just different kinds. And I think that like that's similar to like if you look at the difference between something like Netflix. Because Netflix just drops like a whole season of a show in one go. Which, not bad. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with that or anything. Just, it's a different model than the weekly release of other things. But when you release something weekly, the flip side is that people know when it's going to arrive, and they can plan accordingly. And the people who want to watch your show are going to watch your show. Part of it also has to do with the technology, of course. Technology has changed a good bit since TV started airing. And, serialized shows versus non-serialized. Like, all that stuff. There's a whole different conversation to be had there. But it's that same kind of difference in model is what I'm getting at. That difference in your monetization model is a little bit dishonest. I don't think that actually went into my inventory because I'm dumb. So yeah, there's a difference there, but both of them kind of have the same. Like they're really the same. I honestly and truly believe that both of those types of content creators put in the same amount of effort as one another. I legitimately believe that. As somebody who's done both of them, technically. Because that is, and this is the really long roundabout way to get to the point that I was about to make, which is that the new YouTube channel is basically that second model. Not that I'm making like a ton of money off of it or anything, but that second model is kind of the target, right? It is designed to not be released on every day, but at the same time, if I want to, you know, I can release as often as I want on it, but it's harder content to make. Not just because, I mean, I could start uploading daily to it, and, you know, but that's not my goal with it. I want to keep these two models separate because I believe that these models are inherently different for good reason. Like, they're just different. Different people consume media different ways. Some people prefer some ways, some people prefer others, sure. But I think that it lets you pick and choose, and also the content. I think the content that you get from those two things is, in fact, very different. I mean, you know what you're getting, to be fair. I think you know what you're getting in both of those situations. You know, you're not, what's the phrase? You're not, like, getting the wool pulled over your eyes or anything like that because you're doing one thing over another. You know, people who are subscribing to the various channels generally know what they're getting into, and will unsubscribe if it's, you know, you try and bait and switch them or something. So I don't think that's really an issue. Nice. That means there's only one left in the rocks. I need to know how to beat that man. I don't even know what it is. It's like a worm. I dug on the X, right? I'm pretty freaking sure I dug on the X. Yeah. I'm not that daft, okay? But yeah, I think that the idea of the second channel is I'm going to put more... Curated's not the right frame. More edited is basically what it is. Content there. And that's simply because I want to be able to create that content, and I believe that the model of people who want to view that content is different. And if somebody likes both versions of that content that I am creating, then they can subscribe to both channels, and I don't think that punishes them. Yeah, I don't think that's a punishment. I hope it's not a punishment. But that is simply because, you know, the subscription model allows hidden pages of the journal. Awk. Yeah, that doesn't... Okay. I know there's hidden pages of the journal. That's the point. They're hidden. I don't know where they are. Why did the big site? I need to reorganize and put my my pan. So yeah, it's one of those things where if you like this content that I'm releasing, like Stardew, that's daily and me rambling for what is pretty much 40 minutes, awesome. You're subscribed to the right channel. If you're subscribed. If not, you do you, dude. How do I get, like... Can't look at the map anymore. Alright, I guess we're going cave this time. There's still stuff in the machines. Jesus, so much ginger. But yeah, if you know, if you like the content the way that you see it on this channel and you're subscribed and that's how you want to consume it, then awesome. If you want more curated content, awesome. I'm not going to judge you or anything, but that means that you're going to be more interested in that channel, which, so yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. I'm going to hit a slime. Come on. Wow, did not get anything of value from that. It's okay though, we'll get... I don't know how many... Straight find me diamond. What the hell? If this is a diamond, I think that... Okay, I was like, it qualifies as a turkey at that point, right? Let's say hidden pages. So I wonder if some of like, if you go far in random places on the lava, it actually could be rewarding. Although I guess I am finding these cinder shards, which is pretty nice. What the hell is the, okay, I was like, where's the hell's the door? Don't see any other machines or cinder blocks, or I'm not gonna fight you. They just take too long to fight. They're so... Scummy is not the word, but it kind of feels accurate. But yeah, that's what the new channel is. It's going to be more edited content that releases less often. And, you know, if you happen to somehow be watching this video through a recommendation and the daily of this channel isn't quite what you're looking for, dang it. Feel free to check that one out. It's Omni Creations. I'm pretty happy with the first video that I put out. It is a compilation of a playthrough I did with a friend of mine, a streamer named Spooky Wagons, who is pretty much mostly a streamer. She does put out some YouTube content, but it's pretty much mostly highlights, which, you know, also fair. I think highlights kind of count as that second style of video, because your primary content, your daily content is Twitch, is streaming live on Twitch. It's a very similar model conceptually. It just ends up, you know, in practice, feeling different. Okay, what the absolute hell is going on here? But yeah, it's a good video, it's a fun video. I did a lot of editing. That video is exactly why if somebody tries to say that edited videos aren't that much work, I will laugh at you and call you a liar, because you have clearly never edited a video in any meaningful way. Very nice. Because I quite literally, I don't think it's an exaggeration if I say that I spent 100 hours on that video. Not including the time it spent to record it. I wouldn't be surprised if that number was actually surprisingly higher than 100. Like, if you were to tell me that the actual number was like 200 or 300, I would believe you. I definitely, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be a little sad, because I think it could have been done faster, but I mean, I learned a lot. If I were to go back and remake that video now, it would take me significantly less time. Absolutely significantly less time. Because a lot of that was a learning experience. Because, you know, video editing, it's a thing. It's a difficult thing. And it requires knowledge. But a lot of that knowledge isn't so deep as it is broad. You have to understand a lot of different things in order to put together a small number of shots. But once you know those things, they're very flexible and easily applicable to other things making it go faster. Like that's pretty much how it works. So having learned how a bunch of that stuff works now, you know, I could do it again, but faster. Definitely have not been watching my health enough, but I also haven't been getting hit a lot, so. Yeah, just slime, not surprised. Alright, you're not selling anything different. It's 750. I might be able to make it. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a benefit. I don't have my ruby, do I? No, but I have an emerald, actually, which is speed, I think. Oh, well, that wasn't what I wanted per se, but oh crap, I gotta deal with you. Key to these guys, it feels like you just gotta walk at them. Because they want to charge you. Alright. I accidentally killed that slime. I really wasn't paying attention to it since the cat hurt me, and voila. So yeah, the the new channel is that. It's more edited content, and I had a lot of fun playing the game. Dwarf Scroll 3, okay. I think the Dwarf Scroll actually gets used for something. Checking to see if there's any machines down here. Don't appear to be. It's now 10. This is gonna be close, is what it's gonna be. But these areas have a lot more machines, which means higher likelihood of good things. Yeah, Little Hope, story game, horror game. Kind of choose your own adventure. If you are familiar with Until Dawn, which was a story game, butterfly effect kind of thing. That's basically exactly what this is. I believe it is the same company. They made that one was made pretty much exclusively for PlayStation. I think they could remake it to be on PC, and I would love for them to do that. It wouldn't be nearly as much fun because I already know a lot of stuff. It would pretty much just be a test of my memory for, like, you know, what the wrong things to do are. Which, you know, nothing explicitly wrong with that. Can play it through what is effectively a second time after having watched a whole bunch of people play it. See, I feel like there's something over there, and I just, yeah. I don't get to look at it because time. Fighting these guys is a pain in the butt. They're really bulky. I need to heal. I am very injured. I'm amazed I dodged that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pass out in this cave. Almost. Oh, god damn it, I could have just walked past that. Oh my god, I'm being slowed horrendously. I have to get through a single floor in what amounts to... Yeah, no, I'm passing out. The question is where... I basically have to ignore this. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I just realized I was gonna die. Oh, I lost so much stuff. I'm not making it home either. Oh man. This was an expensive trip. My horse should be able to take me home. He's not gonna though. That is gonna be the end of this episode. Thought maybe I could make it in. Where did you spend the night? At your old place? I'm not saying it would have worked, just that it would be funny. Yeah, spreading weeds. I don't even know where the spreading weeds are. We hella lost money today. Hella lost money. That's okay. We are now... Oh, gosh, we're into the summer. Fantastic. Alright, so, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you next time. But until then, check out the new channel, Omni Creations. There's a video introducing it. I don't really have a whole bunch of links. I probably need to get on that. But feel free to do that if it's something that sounds interesting to you. If not, no worries. No big deal. But yeah, I hope you do. And I will see you next time. Until then, keep your gears turning.